Hey guys, Dr. Decks here. Today we are talking again about how do I sell a deck and who do I sell it to? This is part 2. We had quite a few of you asking for more information, give us some more, and so we decided to make a second section of this video, or a second part to this video. So if you like what you see, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let me know below if you want to see a part 3. So we talked a little bit about certain sales techniques, things that I do when I go out on estimates. I've been doing this for about 35 years now. And how do I sell a deck to a client? To sell a deck at the right price, you need to know your value. Know what you're worth and stick to your guns on that worth. Don't reduce your price just because somebody says, well, ABC decks can do it for this much. Can you match their price? I'm like, no, I can't, because I don't know what they're gonna give you for that price. Even if it's in writing, it's usually not the same caliber of work that I'm doing for that same dollar. So you gotta just sell people on quality. There's gonna be a certain amount of people that are only gonna pay the least amount they can. Those usually aren't the people that I work for. The clients that I work for, they wanna have something special. They want something specially made by an artist that's well-known and well-renowned, not only in their town, all across the country. You can go to almost any state that I'm known in and people know Dr. Decks and they know the type of work I do. And that might be amongst builders, but it's still a reputation that I've spent 35 years building and will continue to do so until I die. Know your value. You might have to explain to the clients, not necessarily being conceit. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm not trying to sound arrogant. Sometimes people don't know of the quality that you build with, or the quality that you build at, or at the level of precision that you are, and you need to tell them. Sometimes you gotta tell them, if they don't come in knowing who you are or what you do, you need to explain to them and be confident. Just don't be overbearing. I've actually made the mistake of being a little too cocky and then had the client go, oh yeah, you're the best in the world, huh? Or something like that. I go, no, I didn't say that. I just said we're really good at what we do. We're in the top 1 percentile of our, in my opinion, and again, it's an opinion. There's a wall of first place trophies behind me for a reason. It's not because I paid for them. It's because I earned them. But I don't go around saying that. I have so many of these plaques that aren't even on the wall because I don't have room for them, or they keep falling down, or whatever reason. I don't use that as my intro. It's more like an extra bullet in the chamber, or just something as a matter of fact, or by the way, did you know, kind of thing. I don't ever lead with something like that. Don't ever be ashamed to tell somebody how good you are at what you do. They may not know. It just might be a simple letting them know, just so they understand where you're at. Okay, so let's talk about price. If you're gonna reduce your price on this deck, then reduce the size of the deck as well, so that you're not shooting yourself in the foot by losing money when you know it's gonna cost me $2,000 in supplies to get this job. I don't nickel and dime people, okay? In my opinion, it always comes out in the wash. We're talking thousands, not hundreds, or not tens of dollars. We're talking thousands of dollars. So you say, hey, I can match that price, but I have to build this size. And if you are comparing apples with apples, make sure you're comparing about this around the square footages, and make sure that the competitor, you don't know if that's a cooked up bid. You don't know if it's their family friend or uncle or aunt that supplied that for them to give it to you to see if you'll go down in your price. They might be testing you. They might be testing you to see if you're just willing to do it for less because they want you to. It might not be a legitimate bid. So if that's the case, I say, forget you. Here's my price, this is what I want, and if you're not willing to pay it, and I can make it smaller to get you to that price, but I'm not gonna build it at this size for this price. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. It's bad business. So just remember that. During COVID, we had a lot of material supply issues, supply chain issues, all kinds of crazy things like that. So it's always wise to be abreast of your client. Let them know. You know, if you're not seeing them on a daily basis, a quick text or a phone call saying, hey, we have a problem. We're waiting on this product. It's not going to be in for 3 weeks. There's nothing I can do about it. Most people are pretty cool about understanding timelines. A lot of people wait up to a year for us to come to their house. So a couple more weeks or a month or whatever it is, isn't that big a deal as long as you keep in contact with them. That's where things get lost in translation, is when you don't keep in touch with these people and then they end up thinking one thing, but in actuality it's something else, and you guys just aren't on the same page. So keep it right with a good open line of communication. And one more thing in sales, I am a laid back salesman, okay? I don't push. Don't be too pushy. If you can draw somebody in because of some kind of incentive, I'm gonna do this for you, I'm gonna do that for you, and you can do those things. I can offer you, some companies offer 10% discounts and things like that. I've heard of people doing that and adding 10% to the price of deck so they're really not losing money. I don't do those kind of things, but if you can draw them in with your curves or heat bending or something really cool, that's like, man, we gotta hire this guy because he can do this and this, and he's doing it. I've actually done heat bent decks with curves for less than another company came in and did a rectangle. And after I was done, the guy's like, hey man, doctor, I love you, you're awesome, and I'm very happy with this, but you should have charged me more because look at this bid. This guy was gonna charge me $2,000 more and he was gonna give me a square, and you did a work of art. I'm like, hey man, that's just the price I chose to charge you. Just because you're a podiatrist or a doctor doesn't mean I charge you more. Everybody gets the same price, and that's my price. So I'm happy because I made a profit. Plus I captured all the social media rights. So don't be pushy. If you can't make the sale at this point, another 10 phone calls is not gonna make the client say, hey, when can you start? Sometimes you gotta learn when to stop. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. It's a song by Kenny Rogers, man, listen to that, and maybe apply some of that to your sales technique, okay? When you're down to the contract signing, always retain your photo and video rights to your work, no matter what. I won't even build a deck for somebody if they will not agree to this. It's in every contract, and I'm serious as a heart attack about it. Retain your photo rights, your video rights. Every deck we put on YouTube, I retain the rights to be able to film that deck. I never disclose a location, that is also in my contract. But as far as video, I have the right to film your house, as much of your house as I want, and as often as I want, because other people's income derive from the income I do and make from doing these videos and for putting it on social media, and it fuels my page. So for the future, it's more important. I never used to have that clause in any contract. Now it's in every single one. That's your bonus feature for today's video. So if you want a part 3, comment below. Before you make that comment though, hit that subscribe button, and if you want, hit that bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content. And don't forget to leave me a comment below if you want to see part 3 of how to sell a deck. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.